Avoid moving to Nashville, Tennessee unless you can handle these 7 things. Now, a lot of people are moving to Nashville, Tennessee every single day, and it's gonna help you a ton if you know about these 7 things before you get here. It can help you with your expectations and planning and more. So let's go ahead and let's find out what those are. Now, before we jump into that, if you're looking to move and relocate right here to Nashville, I would love to help you. We have people reaching out every single day. All you gotta do is give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends, whether you just want some information, have some questions, or you wanna go ahead and get your move started. Again, that's call, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I got your back when you're moving to Nashville, Tennessee. Number 1 is our allergies, and we're actually rated one of the top cities in the United States for allergy issues, and it can get pretty bad. You would have a running nose, watery eyes, sneezing, and I don't even have allergy problems historically, but over the past couple of years, I've noticed my allergies getting worse, especially whenever the pollen is really high. So if allergies are something that you struggle with where you're moving from, then you definitely want to take the proper precautions on taking care of your allergies before you move to Nashville. And number 2 is the humidity. Now, Nashville's weather, we have 4 seasons. We get spring, winter, fall, summer, but during the summer, the humidity can get so bad. It feels so much hotter outside than it actually is. It makes it hard to breathe, and it just will feel so hot. So if you're gonna be working outside or spending a lot of time outside, then you'll definitely notice how hot it feels and how humid that it can get. But if you're coming from a super hot state like Florida or California, then it's probably not gonna be anything like you're used to, but for the most part, the humidity makes it extremely hot during the summer. Number 3 thing that you need to be aware of when moving to Nashville is you will need a car. We don't really have any efficient mass transportation system yet, so you're gonna need to have a car to drive to and from work unless you're living like right beside your work, but you don't wanna Uber everywhere you go if you wanna go out to eat or anything. So having a vehicle is pretty much a must, and within Nashville's city limits, like within the city, rents are pretty expensive there, so a lot of times it makes more sense to live like 10 minutes, 15 minutes outside of the city. Car is definitely gonna be something that you want to invest in. And speaking of cars, that brings us to number 4 is the traffic. Now, traffic is getting worse and worse and worse. I've said in past videos that maybe it'll get better, and I think I was wrong. Traffic is getting worse, and they can't really build enough fast enough to handle it. I don't even know if they are anymore, but we have so many people every day moving to Nashville, and just like I told you for reason number 3, you need a vehicle. You're gonna be driving and it gets really congested, and Southern drivers aren't typically the best drivers. They're not the worst, but they're not the best. So keep that in mind. Whenever you're looking for your place to live, it is a good idea to look at the roads that you need to take to get to your work or your school, wherever you're going, and seeing if those roads are usually high traffic or lower traffic and at what times. And you can do that on Google Maps. You just go and enter where you're looking to move to and where you're going to be driving and what time, and it can tell you all of that. But traffic, definitely something that you need to know about. And if you have road rage, then you may need to work on the anger management because it gets pretty packed sometimes. And the 5th thing that you need to know, and you probably already know this, is that there are a ton of people moving to Nashville. About 70, 80 to 90 people a day are moving and relocating to Nashville from all over the country. A lot of people from California and New York, but from all over the country, which means that cost of living is going to be going up, and the rent prices are also going to be going up, housing prices going up. Pretty much what I'm saying is the prices on everything are going up because so many people are moving here, which is also causing the traffic to be worse. But know about it, expect it, and prepare for it. And number 6 is that we have a competitive job market, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because our unemployment is lower than cities of comparable size. It could be a bad thing if you're moving here and you don't really have a job lined up, which you I highly recommend getting a job lined up before you move here. But there are a lot of job candidates and limited jobs. Now we do have companies, a lot of companies are moving to Nashville because of just different reasons, the economy, the taxes and everything. But a lot of companies are moving to Nashville. A lot of new jobs are getting created in and around Nashville all the time. But before you move, I highly suggest getting a job lined up. You can submit applications over the internet and have the interviews via Zoom and go ahead and get that job offer, because the last thing you want is to get all your stuff packed, move to Nashville, have enough money for maybe a month's worth of rent, and you be 3 or 4 weeks in and not have a job yet, and your next month of rent is coming up. Yeah, and you would have a hard time getting approved for an apartment without a job anyway. So it's a competitive job market. We have a low unemployment rate, which is a great thing about Nashville. Lots of companies that are coming to Nashville. It's gonna continue growing. Get you a job lined up. Which brings me to the 7th and final thing that you need to know about moving to Nashville. And that is, we have low housing inventory. And not only low housing, but apartment inventory is also going down as well. We have so many people, again, I know I say it all the time, we have so many people moving here that the demand for housing is a lot higher than the supply. Our local home prices in the area went up 15% and our inventory is down like 60%. So there's a lot of people looking for houses, a lot of people looking for apartments, but there's not a lot of them to go around. So with that being said, if you're looking for an apartment, you want to start about 60 days from the time that you move. The reason for that is most apartments operate on 60-day notices from the resident, so that's when you're going to see the biggest range of availability. The closer you get to your move-in date, the less inventory that you're going to have to choose from, and a lot of times when you get about a month or less, it gets really hard, and the last thing you want is to have to settle for something that you really didn't like in the first place. In terms of housing and buying, most people who try to buy from out of state end up just having to come and rent for a year while they work on that process and get to know the area, because I know realtors that I work with that have showed clients 30, 40, 50 and more houses, and it's not that they're not putting offers on these houses. They put offers on houses often, but they don't win because there's so many offers getting put on the house. Within 24 to 48 hours of a home being listed, it could already have 20, 30 offers, and most of them are above asking price. I mean, if you don't put an offer in that's above asking price, then it's almost hard to even get the seller to consider your offer. And that's just what kind of market we're in, because since the inventory is so low, people are becoming really impulsive and impatient, and they're putting in offers that are above asking, and they're skipping the inspections and all this crazy stuff. So if you're wanting to buy a home, then maybe it's a better idea to rent an apartment first while you're working on that process of buying a home. So when your lease is up, then you can go ahead and buy. A lot of people want to try to do short-term leases at like 6 to 9 months so they can hurry up and get a house. Although it's possible to get you a home in that time frame, it's better safe than sorry, because they're going to charge you more for your short-term lease than if you were to do a 12, and the chances of you buying a home within that time frame, because that's not a lot of time in this market, it gets kind of, pushing it. So I would recommend getting a 12-month lease, getting that good monthly rate locked in, and not being crunched for time and finding your home. Learn the area, learn the neighborhoods, get you a realtor that is good at what they do and can get you a home, and within 12 months, you'll be out into your home. But that's just, obviously, you can do whatever you want. That's just my advice. I see a lot of people moving here, and I work with them. I work with a lot of realtors who work with people, and that's just the best advice that I can give. Now, if you can handle all of those 7 things and you still want to move to Nashville, then I would love to help you find your perfect spot. I specialize in helping people move and relocate right here to Nashville, Tennessee, and I would love to help you as well. All you gotta do is send me a text, give me a call, or shoot me an email, days, nights, or weekends. I got your back, and I will help you I'll put together the entire game plan for you. We can go over what you're looking for, when you're looking for it, and we can get this process started and make it as seamless and streamlined as possible. It's gonna be as stress-free as we can make it. Again, that's call, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I got your back when you're moving to Nashville, Tennessee. And if you're still doing your research on moving to Nashville, then make sure you check out this video right here, and I will catch you later.